Okay, our fellow listeners, that was All Heavens Declares we just played right now. And we have the lady of the moment who is live with us as we speak, Varonica Meyer. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Varonica Meyer. And how are you doing, Veronica? Welcome to South Coast Radio.
Hey Ryan, it's very good to be with you and the listeners of South Coast Radio this afternoon. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Glad to have you with us on the lines. So, we're gonna do a quick bio about you for the listeners, just to get to know you more before we go into the interview questions. So, about Veronica's musical journey, which began in her teenage years when she lent her powerful voice to Cape Town's renowned gospel group Kunjalo. Driven by her passion and talent, she ventured to the USA, where she collaborated and performed with the celebrated Israel and New Breed. Wow, that's awesome. And so this experience enriched her artistry and expanded her horizons. Upon returning to South Africa, she embarked on a tour across the entire SADC region, captivating audiences with her soulful performances. Her debut album, The Encounter, also marked a pivotal moment in her career, establishing her as one of South Africa's premier gospel vocalists. Tracks like Brighten Up My Day and Koop Medley continue to resonate with fans and are still popular today. Her extensive travels have enriched her sound, and she is now preparing to release her highly anticipated second album, Sound of Pentecost, which is in this year, 2025. This album promises to weave the unique sounds of South Africa with a tapestry of musical influences gathered over her 20 years in music ministry, creating a captivating and soulful experience for listeners worldwide. And so you also released the song Koop Die Tyd Uit, which was on the 24th of May. So awesome to have you with us once again, Veronica. So a bit of an introductory. So Veronica, take us back to the beginning. How did your musical journey start with Kunjalo in Cape Town?
My musical journey started with them. I think it was it was many moons ago. I think the bishop that is the leader of the group. He spotted me at a conference or concert, one of the two, and he then of course asked me to be part of them. And I think my first encounter with Kunjalo was in an international trip. So we went to the US for a month and a half, in the month of December, to go into shows there. That was my first encounter with Kunjalo. So that is how I met, the group Kunjalo and Bishop Manny and the rest of the leaders in the group. Yeah, so that was my first encounter with them, was on a US trip.
Awesome. So what inspired you to pursue gospel music in particular?
I always tell people that I am. Well, when you're called to do it, there's a very different thing. Everybody's got a different calling, and I've just been called to do gospel music. Not that I haven't tried to sing anything else, but I am called. That's how I know I'm called to sing gospel music and to proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ. Right across the world. I'm called to do it.
Awesome. So, with our next set of questions relating to international experience, you had the opportunity to work with Israel and New Breed in the USA. That's really awesome, I must say. So, what was that experience like, and how did it shape your musical style?
It really, it broadened my perspective of music, and particularly the music business. Because sometimes we, as an artist, except from being a gospel, artist or a minister of the gospel, sometimes we don't really know the business of music or music business. So it really helped me in that regard. And of course, with music business, music production, the level that we that we did things on. If I can just make an example, like the BET Awards, the taping thereof, how many times we recorded it. It's very different to what people see on TV,
True.
As we now know today, we know how it's done. And I think back then I learned all of those things. And I think also it was the Lord's doing for me to see that so very early in my life. See that kind of production, that kind of music business, and the professionalism of it all,
Wow.
and the management of it. So I learned a lot, and even songwriting and music in general. I said to somebody the other day, the Lord has really afforded me the opportunity to see how world music is being written, because I thought today I call Israel the worship leader of the world. Mm-hmm. Him and Darlene is the two people that you can say that is worship leaders of the world, if you get what I'm saying. So
that's right.
Yeah. To put it in a nutshell.
Yeah. Great stuff. So after returning to South Africa, you toured the entire SADC region. How did different audiences respond to your music?
I think, Ryan, for me, is like I think I've mastered the fact that we now have mastered the art of the transcontinental sound. Mm-hmm. If you could say it like that, it's like really just serving everybody. Because sometimes when you write music, I always say you don't write music for yourself. You write music for an audience. Yeah. So if you look at an audience, if I'm gonna come to Durban, I need to know what the demographic is, what people listen to. So we write music for audiences, for people to join us in singing, and not just being set, no, I sing this kind of music and this is my genre. I'm not gonna, so we try to serve everybody. Mm-hmm. When it comes to music. So we really dig into, the cultures and the languages, and see where we can add and we can make things, just so that people can understand, because the gospel needs to be understood. The music can sound amazing, but if people don't understand, it means absolutely nothing. So we try to serve everybody, and I think we've mastered the art of that, like I said, the transcontinental sound, to serve everybody.
Great stuff, Varonica. So looking at albums and music, your debut album, The Encounter, which introduced many fans to your voice, what was the inspiration behind that project?
The inspiration was, I think, Ryan, for us, I just wanted to get the music out, because it's music that was sitting there, and we had to get it out. That's music that I've written when I was still in school. And when I had the opportunity now to record it, and that's what I did, just to get the music out, let the people know that, the music is, I've written all of this music. If I just look at the archive that I have, I wish we could release everything at one time, but we can't. True. So we did, that was the first project that we did. Songs was inspired, of course, by life, my circumstances, life events, how I felt. And one of the songs on the album is called My Life Has Changed. Mm-hmm. That specific song is my testimony when I gave my heart to the Lord. So it is a very sacred album. My mom and dad were still alive to see that album, happen. They were at the live recording. So it has a sentimental value, and it really warms my heart. Just when I think about it now, it blesses me, just to think about that in that way. So the music has been inspired by all of those things.
Really awesome stuff, Varonica. So two tracks from that album, which was Brighten Up My Day and Korkie Medley, remain popular today. Mm-hmm. Why do you think those songs continue to resonate?
I think it's got to do with our culture. Yeah. We, like in Cape Town specifically, we love the sort of the Guma sound, and then I don't know if you know what Guma is. It's Guma sound, like, so So we add, like in the Koop Die Tyd medley, you would hear a lot of sounds, piano, accordion, a lot of tambourines. So it's a joyous sound. It's a sound that brings joy.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So we wanted, because that resonates with our people. And then, of course, Brighten Up My Life, it's catchy, but it makes you think, like, it makes you happy, you know. So we also, I think really people really gravitate toward that toward that specific song, Brighten Up My Life, because it can speak to everybody. I listen to my daughter's 8 and she loves, I mean, that song was recorded in 2018 when she was still a baby, and she loves that song. She's 9 now, so yeah, Brighten Up My Life and the Koop Die Tyd medley is still going strong. I think it's now on 1.3 million views. It's hectic. So people are still, you know, blessed by it.
And they're gonna continue enjoying it, that's for sure. So
I'm sure of that.
Guaranteed. So you've been in the music industry for over 20 years. How would you describe the evolution of your sound over the years?
Oh, there's a big. If I listen to the 2018 album and I weigh it up with what I've done now, there's a big difference. I think there's more maturity in the music. There's more maturity in the production of the music into the sound. I mean, the EQs, the levels of how the music was produced. And I think that couldn't have happened without a Spirit-filled music group, which I am in partnership with. They have done a sterling job, and I mean the same producer that was on the 2018 album is now on the 2025 album. Wow. And we've grown tremendously, I must say. We have almost perfected the sound. I mean, it was amazing. We were just listening back last night again, because we're getting ready to release again, so a few more songs. So we just were listening back, and we could really say that our sound have grown, and even the production, the level of production and the sound and the recording engineer, we have grown tremendously in that regard. So it was a journey, but it was a good one.
That's definitely. And so going into our next set of questions regarding the new music you released, Koop Die Tyd Uit, and upcoming album. So your latest single, Koop Die Tyd Uit, is deeply personal. Can you share the story behind the song and your late mother's influence on it?
Yeah. Koop Die Tyd Uit, it was birthed in COVID. You know, in COVID, a lot of things happened. A lot of people, has passed on from COVID. So I was in the kitchen and I was listening, I was singing, I was humming the tune. So I would either get my music in the kitchen or when I take a walk. It happens. Or I would get it in church. Or that is the 3 places that I do know that God gives me a melody. And I was humming it. And then after a while, I forgot about it. And then my mom and I spoke about something, and then she always used to encourage us and say for Varonica to do the gospel and to sing gospel music, your forehead has to be, as hard, or as, you have to be engraved in the word. That's basically what she said. That's why that line says there, maak jou voorhoof so hard soos 'n diamant. It's like, you have to be, rooted and grounded in God. And that's what basically it translates to that you have to be rooted and grounded in God. And the melody came, and I worked on it, and then I put it at back burner, because I said to myself, man, maybe I must give this to somebody else. And when I was presenting the song to this particular individual, he said to me, no, this is your song, V. And then we recorded it, and I'm happy that we did. My mom was a great influence. Most of the lyrics that is in there is things that she would used to say to us, that we will have to look at what we want to do. We have to do it fast, because the old folks used to say that the coming of the Lord is near. So so we just pushed ourselves forward with the song. The production of the song was amazing. How we put it together, and now we have Koop Die Tyd Uit.
Awesome. And so the single was recorded live in Kraaifontein across from your primary school. What made this location so special to you?
I wanted to record the album there in front of my people who I grew up in front of,
Yeah.
my peers, the old aunties and the uncles in the community. I wanted them to be a part of it. And it's got really, I mean, if I just think about it, it blesses me just all over again just to think about that. I could record that, the whole entire album in front of my Kraaifontein audience, people that I grew up in front of. So that was a very important thing for me, is to just to give them that thank you, and just to say thank you that I could, be who I grew up in front of them, and I just wanted to thank them and to say, let us celebrate together. That is the reason why I decided to do that.
Awesome stuff. And so the song is rich with Cape Flat sounds. How important is it for you to stay rooted in your culture and upbringing?
I think it's for me. I will never forget where I come from.
Yeah.
I've been all over the world, I can tell you, Ryan, but there is nothing like the sound of Cape Town. Now, I know everybody has their sound.
True.
But that's my experience, you get what I'm saying? So there's nothing like our sound. Our sound is authentic. It doesn't sound like anything else. People is trying to copy our sound. South African sound is something that resonates in your heart. You can feel it even if you leave. You feel that beat, you feel, that vibration.
True.
So that is important to me. That's something that I will always implement in my music. I will always add it to my music. If I can, I will do it. So, yeah.
Great stuff. And so tell us more about the producers Daniel Titus and Gabriel Edwards, and what it was like working with them on this track.
On this track, oh my goodness, we've got history. My daughter is going to be 15, and that's how long I know both Daniel and Gabriel. So we go back we go way back. And we decided that we're going to partner with, and then they formed Spiritful Music Group. Gabriel is originally from Johannesburg. Gabriel is born and bred in Cape Town. He's currently the MD on the Kurkies show on CakeNet.
Okay.
So I've partnered with them. Amazing, group of people. We did the music production, and this is the mixing process. Absolutely amazing. I am speechless when it comes to the music and how it's been mixed, and just made it, how can I say, so that people can understand and hear every single thing that I wanted to translate the way that we recorded it, so that thing they are really just taking that and that music and making it really to be in your face, as we call it in the music. The music has to be in your face. You have to hear it. When you hear it once, you won't be able to stop listening to it. So they're doing a really good job with the help of God to just produce this album.
Awesome. And so looking ahead, your upcoming album Sound of Pentecost is set for release this year in 2025. What can fans expect from this project?
They can expect sing-alongs. They can expect music that they can relate to.
Yeah.
Like I said, with Koop Die Tyd Uit, it's catchy, but it's got a strong message. Yeah. So there's a lot of messages in the music. There's a lot of sing-alongs. I try to keep it sing-alongy for people. I want everybody to relate to the album, so they can expect good singing, good music, excellence, great BGV work. Lanel Horn is the director of the BGVs, and he's did an amazing job. So great musicianship and a lots of oil. Lots of anointing. So yeah, it's going to be good.
Awesome stuff.
It's going to be good stuff.
So our next question, you've blended South African styles with international influences. What kind of message or atmosphere are you hoping to create with this album?
The atmosphere I want people to understand is that God is with them. That they will never be able to say that I haven't felt God. God is not close. I feel that He's left me. I always want people to understand when they hear the music, they will know God is close. Also when they think, or they could even imagine.
Awesome. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay, so our next question coming up as well. So, what do you hope listeners take away from your music, especially from Koop Die Tyd Uit?
That they will do whatever they want to do, that they should do it now. Now is the time. My mom always used to say, don't put things on the back burner. You're never going to do it. You don't do it now. So whatever you want to do, whatever you dream you have, whatever, hope that you have for yourself, just get to doing it. Start little by little. It will unfold in the way that it should be. So yeah, that is what Koop Die Tyd Uit.
Great stuff. And with our last question, where can fans follow your journey and listen to your new releases?
They can go on all digital platforms, Apple Music, Deezer, Spotify, YouTube Music, YouTube itself. Music is on all platforms, and they can just find it there.
Awesome stuff. And so just before you go, is there anything else you'd maybe like to add, like maybe a shout out to the listeners out there?
Absolutely. I want to give a shout out to you, Ryan, and your listeners, the South Coast Radio. It was really an honor being here. And then, of course, I have to shout out Gershwin Kun. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate. God bless you. One of the best pluggers in the world that I know.
Yes.
Yeah, Gershwin is absolutely amazing. And thank you for setting up this interview. And thank you, Ryan, once again.
Awesome. It's really an honor and privilege to have you with us on the lines, Varonica. And as you just mentioned, Gershwin Kun, who's had got us linked together and spoke with me and told me about you and stuff. So when I told him, what, I need to get to speak with you about setting up the interview and stuff. And he's really done a lot of work behind the scenes, and he deserves the credit too. I mean, So
he works hard, that guy. He works hard.
He really works hard. I've seen it. Trust me. The guy is always on the bone.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, so listeners, that is Varonica Meyer with her new release, which is Koop Die Tyd Uit, and there's much more coming. So stay tuned for a lot more in store. We are going to be playing the song right about now as well, so stay tuned for that.
The radio station you can't live without. This is your radio.
This is South Coast Radio.